generally am a sort of ideas person. I very, very rarely say it has to be done this way, this is the right answer. And it usually is sort of teamwork and people helping me to look good, you know.
Malcolm's personality is very bright, he's amusing. His appreciation for the art, his appreciation for what it means to the museum, to the city, it's so energizing. And I think that that's the spirit of the MFA.
My impression of Malcolm is of a person who truly understands community.
Malcolm is a perfectionist, a visionary.
Yeah, a very, very nice man, actually. We did get on instantly. Sometimes I do with people, sometimes you don't, but we did.
He is so chill. Like, you wouldn't think he's like, yes, I'm famous.
Essentially, I think of myself as a shy person, a self-effacing person who's found a way of becoming a public person and becoming a leader. That's a very interesting transition for me.
9/11, our team is stranded in Boston, and Malcolm opens the doors of his own home.
The first time I saw Malcolm, he was eating in the cafeteria, and I thought, this is interesting that the director eats in the cafeteria. What kind of director is he? So I thought not only was he trying to make the museum accessible to the public, but he was trying to make the staff accessible to him. And I thought that was a very important aspect of his character.
Looking back, I think, how did I have the courage to do some things? But somehow at the time it seemed inevitable and the right thing to do. And of course, with some of the more controversial things I've done, Ritz is an example, or our exhibition of Ralph Lauren's cars. Controversial, yes, but now there's an archive of Herb Ritz's work at the Getty on the West Coast, and Ralph Lauren's cars have been exhibited at the Louvre. So our daring was rewarded by recognition in the end.
I think Malcolm's impact on art reaches far beyond Boston. It has global impact. He's a true visionary. He's a true leader. I don't know anyone who doesn't understand that.
I think it's not just the 7 days a week. I think he opened the Huntington Avenue entrance and he opened the Fenway entrance, trying to tell people, particularly within this community, that this was their museum.
Well, one of the things that's critical to understanding what I've been trying to do here is to provide elevated enjoyment for everyone, not just for an elite.
Through Malcolm's vision, the Community Arts Initiative came to fruition through the great support of the Lindy Family Foundation. And what that's done is introduce thousands of young people to the arts. In addition, he's opened the doors for not just individuals to come into the building, but families to come into the building. Families that never would have access to the Museum of Fine Arts or other places like it.
There are so many programs available to children, from the very young child who can have an art experience here while visiting, to even distance learning where kids can take a look at something that might be a primary source.
Anyone can come into the museum, get information about a variety of programs, and avail themselves of the many different ways to experience those programs.
When I first learned of the plans for the new wing and the tremendous community support, I was really overwhelmed. Thought it was fantastic. And then when I came in for my first visit, I was wowed. That vision, that leadership has showed the world the importance of the art of this continent. You know, we've learned so much about art from the other parts of the world, but so much fabulous art has been made and created here. And the history that's reflected in this fabulous art is here for the world to see in Boston.
For me, that was a totally new way of seeing art displayed. That did not fit my brain's definition of a museum and what a gallery was. And the way that it was being displayed in sort of the combination of paintings, but also daily life objects and things like that, that was really cool to see space dedicated to that.
The cities that people are most attracted to are those that have great arts and culture or great education. And the MFA I think more than most organizations and institutions throughout the country, has a special magic to it. It's majestic to look at, and yet it's very welcoming. And the range of art that exists within its walls, it can just transport you through history.
The Board of Trustees wrote a statement of purpose, and the purpose was to celebrate diverse cultures and to welcome a new and broader community. Malcolm has done that.
Well, he's a very intelligent man. He's good at his job, partly because he's a showman as well.
The ripple effect from Malcolm has truly transformed the city through the museum.
I think he's just made tremendous contributions to the strength of our cultural community and cultural economy in the time he served.
Extraordinary.
Open-minded.
Welcoming.
Approachable.
He's just a very lively person.
Embracing.
Enlightened.
Infectiously enthusiastic.
One of the great things for me is to celebrate all those who've made my life here so enjoyable and my career so successful. Trustees, overseers, benefactors, my wonderful colleagues at the museum, and of course our equally wonderful volunteers. Thank you all.